Mataji, everyone. A very warm welcome and good morning to one and all. Welcome to another day of blissful meditation. We have Mitesh Bhaiya with us. So over to you, Bhaiya.
Hello, thank you, Sharda. So my name is Mitesh. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga for what seems like many decades, but it's been 20 years now. I came as a teenager, and it's my absolute privilege to be the host for tonight. And I welcome you all from wherever you are listening from. Today's session is an intermediate session, I've been told. So you already have some background information. And I hope during this session and throughout the course of the session, I can help deepen your experience. I can help deepen your knowledge. So we have a really mutually beneficial outcome at the end, which is peace and joy and obviously knowledge. Today's meditation will, like always, start with raising of our Kundalini and putting ourselves into abundance. So if we can all do it together, we start from the base of the spine, keeping our left hand straight and turning our right hand around it. So let's start the first. Over the head and tie a symbolic knot. Again, second time, but 2 knots. Last time, 3 knots. So you've raised your Kundalini, and now you're going to put yourself into abundance. You start from the left hip and move all the way over to the right hip and back. That forms 1, and you do it 7 times. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what I like to do at this particular point is just gently guide my attention back to the top of my head. And whilst we put our attention here, I'd request Sharda to do the 3 Maha Mantras. And everyone, just place your attention on the top of your head or keep your hand there to guide your attention up.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीमहालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्रीकल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायनी माताजी श्रीनिर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः.
So if we can have the slide with the chakra system on it. So as you sit here listening to me, do what I'm doing, which is putting my hand palm upwards on my laps. And that's exactly what the subtle system there is showing you to do as well. So, oops, I think we've lost it. Can we have it back again? Yeah, lovely. So normally when I lead meditations, I lead it in person in my local classes. So I have an idea of the caliber and the level of the seekers that are coming there. I get to know them. But doing it online like this, you have no idea as to how deep some of the seekers are and how long they've been coming. And you don't get an idea of what their vibrations are like. So when I'm doing online sessions like this, I try to become the best transmitter that I can, hoping that I'm part and parcel of your spiritual journey today, of your experience today. And what I always say to all the people that come to my classes is that we charge no money for this. So there's no expectation that you need to be of a certain level by a certain amount of time. It's a very organic learning. And if you speak to many yogis or seekers of truth, thank you. If you speak to many seekers, you'll realize that some people have come just 6 weeks ago and they are very elevated in their thinking, their understanding, their vibrations. And some people have been coming for 20 years and they stop and start. They gather a lot of information and they do have a lot of depth, but sometimes they don't stick with it. And my journey has been pretty much like the latter. I started off by saying that I've been here for 20 years. And although my desire has always been very fervent and genuine, there have been times in my life where, I was looking left and right and not understanding where I'm going. And when something like this, Sahaja Yoga, is made so simple, sometimes you do not want to eat the food directly, but you want to go all the way around and eat the food. As if the motto, no pain, no gain, has some meaning here. People think that to achieve something, you have to go through a lot of tapasya, a lot of heat, a lot of penance. And when you get something so easily, one doesn't have the same level of value for it. But in my journey, I've seen people that have been so badly caught up. Not that I'm having any judgment against anyone, but I've seen people that have been caught up. But in their eyes, I see that genuine seeking. And with that genuine seeking, I really work hard with them. I give them advice. I invite them to my house. I share techniques with them. I do various things so that they don't feel disheartened. Because Sahaja Yoga, although it's an individual desire and endeavor, it is also a very collective one. I have very good meditations by myself, but I also have very good meditations when I'm doing it collectively. And the beauty of Sahaja Yoga is that the wave amplifies in collectivity and the energy amplifies in collectivity. And that's the beauty of Sahaja Yoga. No one person is higher than another. We're all together. Some fall, some rise, some go very high, then come back down. because we have to bring the whole level higher up. It is no longer you sitting on the mountaintop and meditating by yourself for 20 years, although many people have done that in the past. Thankfully, by Shimadaji's grace, we have now got the Kundalini awakened in us, which is sitting at the base of our spine in the coiled up energy. That is then awakened and rises up our central channel and reaches to the top of our head, where we feel true union, true yoga. Yoga is not about physical exercise, but it is about your union with your spirit. Inside the subtle system, you can see many different qualities and many different chakras. You can see also 3 nadis, which is the 3 channels within us. If we go to the next slide, I'd like to show you this. We as human beings can be left-sided, right-sided, but can also be in the center. And the key thing is to be in the center. If you are thinking always about the past, then you're not enjoying the present. And if you're thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow, then also you're not enjoying the present. The key thing is to be dynamic, but also balanced. When I first came into Sahaj, I said, oh, I must stop thinking about my future. I must stop thinking about what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But what happened in reality was that I stopped planning, and people started to find me a little bit unorganized because I was not planning for the future. And of course, there is definitely spontaneity and living in the moment. That's very important. But if we do not plan, then I could not have been here. I could not have prepared this slides presentation for you, and we wouldn't be having this meeting. So a certain amount of preparation is important. And then you've got the left side. The left side is concerned with our emotions. Oh, why did I do this last night? Why did I say this to my friend a week ago? If I had done this, that would have been better. But remember, we're not actually in a movie. We're not rehearsing our scripts. We're not rehearsing our lines. We are just living our day-to-day life through God's grace, through spontaneity, through our intuition and our desire. When we have the right desire, then our desire comes into action, and that's when we use the left and the right channel. And if we use it just like brakes and accelerator at a sort of even balanced, we then go into the center, and then we're connected, and you don't feel lost. Even if you lose your way, you know that you're connected. So even this losing your way has a meaning and has a significance. And for me, that was the greatest feeling. When I knew that I was connected, when I knew that nothing can go wrong, I'm connected, I didn't get so stressed out. I didn't shout at my wife so much. I didn't shout at my kids so much, because I knew that I'm connected and I'm along a journey and I'm going to try my best. A certain amount of surrendering happens because you feel you're connected. And that's the beauty of Sahaj. You feel completely connected. And I hope throughout your journeys, you have felt connected to this Kundalini, to this joy, to this dynamic energy. Remember, we do need emotions and we do need dynamism. Not too much of one and not too much of the other. One very quick example was my Foy, my dad's sister. Her husband died, And for the last 25 years, every time we went to her house, she was always talking about her husband, always talking about the past. This is an example of someone who is living in the left channel. And when I was growing up, my father, who was an economical migrant from Bombay, came to England. And his emphasis was not on spirituality at all. His emphasis was, how do we get better and stronger and established in this country? You wouldn't believe it. When I wanted to learn Hindi, when I wanted to learn Gujarati, he said, no, Mitesh, keep to English and make sure you strive. He was a very futuristic man. So that was another example of going so far into the right. All of these aspirations are good. And we have to have various mentors, leaders, guides in our life. But you have to be your own guru and know whether too much of the left or too much of the right is a good thing. If I find myself too futuristic, I go and do something completely different. And for me, it means going into my garden and just being one with nature. Then suddenly I get the balance, and then I'm back into my normal self. This is not an easy journey. It is all about your own subtle introspection. All throughout my life, I used to observe people that I admired externally. And I used to think, how can I be like them? Now I've realized that watching someone externally does not bring anything inside you. You have to go inside and make that change from inside. And then naturally, people will see you. And naturally, you will have that effect where people want to listen to you. People want to follow in your footsteps. And you will become some sort of a mentor. So today's session is all about balancing, introspection. We'll have a lecture of Shumadaji, followed by some meditational music. But before we have the lecture of Shumadaji, I want to talk to you about one of the treatments that we have, and that's the candle. The candle is our friend in Sahaj. The candle is a very good element because it has the heat and it has the light. And that's very important for people who stick into the left side, people who don't think they're good enough, people who don't have himmat, strength, and a self-confidence and belief in them. The fire uplifts them, raises them up, and brings them back into balance. Now, all of you who are listening today, you may be right-sided. Then that means fire is not your friend today. But it's always useful to have, because after a long day's work, you might become very right-sided and not need the candle treatment for a week or so. Or else, you may have had a family bereavement, or you may have had some domination put on you, and you want to overcome that, in which case, candle is very important for you. I'm now going to show you my setup of how I do candling. So here, I've placed 3 candles, one in front, one to the side, and one behind me. This is along my left channel. And the safety is very important. If you've got long hair or any sort of loose clothing, please make sure it's not near the flame. I would like to ask you all to have your candles ready and put in this way. I'll give you a few moments to get that all set up. If you're sitting on the floor, then this is how to do it. If you're sitting on a chair, it's still good. You can just have it in this direct way. So I'll wait just a few more minutes. Candle 1 in the front, candle 2 on the side, candle 3 behind our left hip. So what we're going to do today is use the middle candle, the one on the side, and we're going to bring it from the base of the left side and bring it all the way up. So from the base all the way up. So from the base all the way up to the left Vishuddhi and crossing over at the Agya in between our eyes and all the way to the right side of the brain. So this is how we will do it. This treatment is very effective for clearing your left side, your left channel. So make sure that the front candle is still there in front of you and the other candle is behind you, and you're going to use your right hand to move the candle all along the left channel. We've got 7 chakras on the left side. I will go into a little bit more detail in a minute, but I'd like you to practice moving the candle along the left side. When I came to Sahaj, Mother had told me, make sure you do 3 candle treatment regularly. So I became very good at it, very experienced at it. And then after a while, you know when you need to do it and when you don't need to do it. But it was certainly a very useful treatment for me. I used to be a very shy person. never felt good enough, never felt as if I had a voice, and always felt bad about something or another. And this is not good for your spirit. You have to feel good. You have to feel as if you are worth it and that you deserve all the good things in life. So now that you've done this and you're doing this, you can stop at various chakras and you can do a little rainbow arc around that chakra. So, for example, the left heart, keeping the left hand pointing towards the candle on the floor, if you can, and the right hand over the left heart. And you do a rainbow bandhan. So, shall we do it together? So, bandhan around your heart. So, what helps clear the chakra even more is by saying some mantras. Mantras are the vehicles of the vibrations. They allow the energy to emit and clear and become better and stronger. I'm going to chant a mantra. Excuse me if my voice isn't up to it, but I will genuinely sing it from my heart. And whilst I'm singing it, all of us do it together. The heart. Shivoham, 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 There's nothing more beautiful than meeting a person, a yogi, a seeker, a human who has a clear heart, because their eyes their gestures, their aura, their presence emits the blessings of the divine. And if you practice speaking with a clear heart, with a genuine heart, you will just see how every moment of your life is filled with pleasant coincidences, with moments of generosity, and filled with lots of love. Now, let's move it to the left Vishuddhi. Again, do the rainbow. And then you may wish to bring it back from down, up. I don't know if you know all the mantras for the left side, but you certainly know the qualities, don't you? So if we go to the Agya Chakra, it's the quality of Shama, forgiveness. You can say to yourself, Mother, please forgive my past. That's your Kundalini. Mother Kundalini, please forgive my past. Do it on the right temple. Keep on doing that. And another really important one for the left side is fear. So for fear, do it on the central channel, in the center of your sternum bone, the middle of your chest. As a child, I used to be fearful of the night. And if the windows were open, and if there were twigs in the moonlight, and they used to cast shadows into my bedroom, I used to feel really fearful. If one is naturally left-sided, then you naturally imagine all the worst kinds of things. And that builds into your fear. And if you have too much fear, it can hamper your progress in life, not just physically, materially, and spiritually, but It opens you up to all sorts of emotional issues. They say too much fear can give rise to cancer because it taps into the psychosomatic diseases. Psych is the brain, the mind, the emotions. Som is the body. So to prevent all this triggering, we should do the treatment on the center heart. And then once again, bring it back down, over and back. So carry on doing that. I put my candle down to give my right arm a bit of a rest, but I've still got my left hand pointing towards the candle. And if you also want to have a rest, you can put your right hand on the ground or pointing towards the ground. And I find in Sahaj, prayer, genuine desire has a big effect on your vibrations, on your kundalini, on everything about you. So you can ask, Mother, please remove all lethargy, fear, hesitation, procrastination from my left side, from my being. So keeping the candle still there, we're going to now play a lecture by Shri Mataji for about 15 minutes. I'd like you to use this time either to look at the video or keep your eyes closed and just flow with the message that comes through in that video. So Sharda, if we can put the link for that now.
It's shaking.
I think it's the stage.
What's shaking here?
stage.
Is the
I
energy?
think it's me moving.
Huh?
It's the stage.
Yeah. It was very beautiful of children to come and receive me in this beautiful manner. It can take you back to the days of Krishna, when in his childhood he was very much respected by his friends, and they tried to do all the honor that was possible.
C'était très joli.
You know the story of his birth. Also you know the story. I think if you stop the water, then otherwise my speech might be little. You know the story of his birth. And here we have the flowing of water both the sides. The way he used to play his flute along the Jamna river. The whole thing looks sometimes so human, but it is not. And at the right time, whenever he needed, as a child, he manifested his powers. That he killed a woman who was a devil. Ultimately, he killed Kamsa. After that, you know that he preached Gita. But it's not so fast as that. After killing Kamsa, he went down to Dwarika to rule there. And there he had to marry 5 more wives. First he had 16,000 wives. So the many people can ask a question, Mother, what sort of a husband he must be? These 16,000 should explain that he has 16 petals. On his domain of Vishuddhi Chakra. And these 16 petals multiplied by the 1,000 petals of the Sahasrara become 16,000. So these are 16,000 powers which are available to us also. These 16,000 powers are working in the brain. These powers could not come as Sahaja yogis, so they came as women who were entrapped by a king, exactly 16,000. And he married them, because by marriage it was all very dharmic. Also he married 5 wives later who represented the 5 elements. Incarnation cannot be understood from human angle. Can never be understood, I should say. Because their ways and methods are different. They have ways and methods of their own. But they do not expose them to other people, not that they are afraid to expose or they don't want to expose, but it will not be intelligible. It cannot be understood by human beings. If you ask me a question, say, Mother, how do you manage that? I may just change the topic very cleverly. So now I'm going to tell you about 16,000 petals of the Sahasrara. And now we can start the translation. In gist you can tell them. So now to understand the 16,000 powers that you have got in your brain already manifesting. As soon as you get your realization, those 16,000 powers start manifesting. Every petal of Sahasrara has got 16 powers, and these are, the petals are made of the 5 elements. So these 5 elements who create these 1,000 petals have got 16 powers on every petal. Now the 5 elements is the right side, which is the content, or we can say the matter of the brain. The matter of the brain is created in such a manner that it has a protective matter also. So we have grey matter and also the white matter which is outside to protect the grey matter. Now these 16 powers which are expressed in every petal are coming from the left side. Sri Krishna is an incarnation of the left side. So the 16 powers which are coming from the left side adorn the petals which are made of 5 elements. But these powers already exist in the brain. By these 5 plus 16 powers, we do all our nervous system work. For example, if you have to lift your hand like this, then it is worked first of all through the left side, which desires that it should be lifted, and then is ordered to the 5 powers or 5 elements. They go into the action. Also, we have in our system a special type of arrangement where there is a reflex action which is built earlier in our evolution. So, in a human consciousness, whatever works is not a reflex action. But now when you are Sahasrara is enlightened with the Kundalini, all these 1,000 powers multiply it into 16,000. So all the nerves in the body get enlightenment. Your attention becomes enlightened. With these 1,000 dimensions, you become collectively conscious. We can say like this: if there are 16 people staying in 5 houses and they are working separately and sometimes coordinating, but a flood comes in. As a result of the flood, all these houses are brought together and get enveloped into the energy of that flood. Then they join hands together. They forget their houses and they start using now a new energy of collective consciousness. This is exactly what has happened in you. That as soon as the Kundalini has risen within you and given you realization, the flood has brought these dormant energies in you into play. You don't have to think that you have to hold each other's hand when there's a flood. You just hold it automatically, spontaneous. So all the energies suddenly start getting into motion. So this power where the 1000 energies of the brain suddenly awaken is the power called as Viratangana. That is, she is the power of the Virat. She is the power which makes Sri Krishna a Virat. So the 16,000 powers which he achieves in your being is done through the power of Viratangana. And at this modern times, you know who is that. So the Adishakti takes the form of Viratangana. With that enlightenment, you achieve your realization. So the Kundalini passing through different centers, enlightening the different energies, ultimately comes to the brain and enlightens the Viratangana power. At this point, at the brain point, the Kundalini starts spreading in the head. She of course shoots off from the Sahasrara, but also she trickles down through this plate of the brain downwards on the sympathetic. That relaxes you. That's why you feel relaxed. It relaxes the sympathetic. That enlarges the centers. It brings it back to its normal positions. The enlargement of the parasympathetic or Sushumna makes the Kundalini rise in more quantum. It is all done by a reflex action of Kundalini. So the Kundalini is already built in such a manner that when she rises, she automatically does all these things. So your Kundalini has got the power to enlighten all your centers and to enlighten your brain and to relax you, to increase the size of the centers and make the Kundalini rise again. But the Kundalini has a very special power that every human being's Kundalini knows me. Many people who have just seen my photograph have got their Kundalini awakened. But if your centers are very clouded or exhausted or jammed together or separated away from each other, then the Kundalini stops there. That's why some people get realization very fast and some take time. These conditioned minds are the most difficult.
Now we're going to listen to some meditational music following Mother's lecture now. Thereafter, we'll have a question and answer session. So Shada, if you can play the music. Just pin my video up. So I hope you've all had a wonderful meditational experience. I hope you've gained some knowledge, some insight. And Sahaj is basically a very deep, innate science of life. And through the scans, through the technology, we can actually start to realize how it's all interconnected. So I know quite a few of you have left the session for today, so I've stopped the music a little earlier, and I warmly invite you to ask me any questions, maybe about my experiences or anything about today, anything that you want to know more about. I'm all ears, and I'll answer it as openly and as frankly as I can. So please do let me know. Sharda, if you can let me know whoever's raised their hand in the group, if you just unmute them, and then they can
Sure
ask
thing,
me a
Bhaiya.
question. Harita, I think.
So there are a lot of questions, it seems. I'll just unmute Harita first.
Yes, okay.
Jai Shri Mataji Bhaiya and Jai Shri Mataji everyone.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Yes, Shri
Hello.
Mataji.
I first thank you for your time because it was really an invaluable session, especially I'm just starting out. It's been a month. And thank you very much for this experience as well. I just have one question for you, which would be what would be the practice that we should do on a daily basis? Because sometimes in the morning, it's not always possible for me to meditate or sit or do. So what would be a simple thing that you feel is really, really mandatory and should not be skipped just on days that we are very busy?
Yes. Now, just like when you're passing the exam, you have to do mirror signal maneuver in a car. So in the same way, the ideal answer would be that one should try to meditate every morning and every evening. But me, myself, sometimes I wake up late, or sometimes just something is playing on my mind. And I know that if I sit down for meditation, it's going to be all full of thoughts, all full of thoughts. So sometimes I fit myself and I go on to work. But the beauty is I try to compensate. So if I know I haven't done a meditation in the morning, then when I'm driving to work, I put my YouTube audio on and I listen to Mother's lecture, or I listen to some of the meditational music, and that just takes me in the zone. And then I watch the nature around me. I drive to work, so I'm in the comfort of my own car, and I see the nature. And if there's any too much peripheral thoughts going on, I stop them, hide them, don't entertain them, and allow myself just to be focused as I am driving along the road. So these are the small tips that I do to keep my Kundalini, to keep my ascent slowly plodding along.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for that one.
No problem.
Thank you, everyone.
Any other questions? Kindly raise your hand so that we can unmute. I think one of the
Everyone,
Bhaiya.
oh, wow, everyone is, that's a
I
good
guess
sign.
they're in
They're
deep
all very
meditation.
focused.
Yeah. Oh, Victoria Park is raised on. Just 1 minute, I'll unmute Victoria.
Yeah.
Hi
Hey.
everyone. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai
Jai Shri
Shri
Mataji.
And so my question is, how does one, so I try to practice meditating in the morning and the evenings, but I'm constantly being challenged by thoughts. So I can never seem to, get to that, that silence. And it's a constant challenge because, I'm having thoughts, just constantly being bombarded. And I try to do foot soaks regularly in the evenings. And thank you so much for the candle treatment session today. I'm going to
That's
try to
amazing.
practice that more frequently as well. But what else could you maybe offer to me to try to settle those thoughts?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it sounds like you are earnestly trying your level best to meditate every day. And like I also said, some days are clearer than others. And it could be the environment, it could be anything that's going on that you're not aware of. But have you tried ice packing, putting ice pack on your liver?
Okay, no, I haven't.
Oh, that's a wonderful, wonderful treatment.
Okay.
I have two kids. One child, he's a little bit more left-sided, and I'm always telling him to candle. And the other one is just never stopping. So whenever he sits down to meditate, he goes, Dad, Dad, there's too many thoughts, too many thoughts. So as he goes to bed, I put one of those ice packs on his liver, and he goes to sleep with it. And then if he's fallen asleep after half an hour, I go back into the room, remove the ice pack and put it back in the fridge. And it's made a big difference to him. So cooling your liver down directly slows down your thoughts and gives you just those few minutes of glimpse of peace in your brain. And then the thought widens, the gap widens. That's called vilamba. So try ice packing.
Okay. Now, do you recommend doing that in the morning and the evening as well, or just as frequently throughout the day, or just once a
No,
day?
no. I would like you to start just doing it once a day, and I'd
Okay.
like you to do it when you're stationary. I wouldn't like you to do it when you've just eaten because the food needs to be digested and all of this visceral area here doesn't need to be interfered with. But once you've had at least half an hour or 1 hour from your main dinner and you're kind of heading towards going upstairs to sleep, and you're just sedentary, you're sitting down at that moment for half an hour, do ice pack. In your case, I'd like you to do it every day or every other day for a month and see if it makes a difference to your meditations.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. If you don't mind, I have another quick question.
Yeah, sure.
So I hear a lot about the yogis saying, they feel the vibration and they also feel not only theirs, but they also feel the others'
Hmm.
vibration, especially maybe, someone who's very new to the Sahaja
Yes,
yoga, to help them.
yes.
So I'm at the stage where I don't feel like I'm feeling the vibrations. So can you also help me how to maybe, you know, get to that next level?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, firstly, I must commend you because you've come onto this online session. So you naturally have a desire to be collective, to be, in the vibrations. It's really, really important to feel the vibrations. You have to be in the collectivity. You have to be around people that meditate because that everyone's weak points neutralizes and cleanses and takes you to another level. So the first thing is to be collective. Make sure you meet yogis, be with yogis. The second thing is if you don't feel vibrations on your hands, but you feel them inside your body, inside your head, that's still okay. It just means that your Vishuddhi chakra just needs a little bit of clearing. What you can do is put a bit of oil on your fingers and massage the Vishuddhi here, neck, over the neck. And if you do that regularly, every other day or at least twice a week, if you do that, the nerves, the cervical plexus in you will open up and you'll start to feel something more in your fingertips.
Wonderful. Is there any particular oil you recommend or?
No, I mean, just start with olive oil, maybe.
Okay.
Have you been told about vibrations and vibrating the oil? If you've got a photograph of Shimadaji in your meditation room, then I would put a glass olive oil in front of that photograph overnight, and then all that oil becomes vibrated, so it's charged. And then when you use a little bit of it, you're not only increasing your vibrations, but you're increasing the penetration of vibrations from the photograph.
Wonderful. I will do that then. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
no problems. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Victoria, one more thing, having doing the ice pack treatment at the end of the day really helps us because after all the day's work and all the thoughts, right? Cooling down and just going to sleep and not resuming any activities is always helpful. At least it has helped me too. So
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
we
thank you
have
so much.
no
I
problem.
will definitely do that in the evening then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoria. Looking forward to see you next time too. Hey, Mira,
Absolutely.
please go ahead with your question. Hello, Mira.
Yes. Thank you for the candling. It was wonderful. And at the end of the candling, I had the desire to candle up and down my left arm because it gets kind of tight and sometimes it goes numb. And it felt really good. And it felt better to go up and down the outside. When I tried the inside, I didn't like that. So I just wonder if what you think of that.
Yeah, so any candling, any form of candling on the left side, be it slightly outside, be it slightly inside, doesn't matter as long as you do it somewhere along the outside here or somewhere along here. The reason why we say to do it inside is it's closest to the left side chakras. But in your case, your left vishuddhi, this area might be a little bit blocked. And as a result of that, you're feeling all of the effects along the left side. So doing all of this ultimately will open this chakra and you will feel better and better doing it closer in. But in the early days, when you're feeling all of that, the best thing to do is to massage it, massage it. And left side needs heating. So in your case, you should use mustard oil. Mustard oil is heating for the left side. And if you massage mustard oil on your left side and your left vishuddhi and carry on doing the candling treatment, that will greatly help you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And
Okay.
I have another question.
Yeah.
So I've gotten so that I love doing a double foot soak at night. I cannot miss it.
Wow.
But a few times my liver is also hurt. And so I've been both putting my feet in the foot soak bucket and putting ice pack on my liver. But I'm wondering, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I generally don't mix treatments.
Uh-huh.
Once when I was with Shumataji, when she told me about doing the 3 candle treatment, and being very overly eager, I said, okay, I'll do ice pack, I'll do candling, and I'll be in the foot soak at the same time. And she looked at me, she goes, oh my God, I mean, you're throwing all the buckets in one go. No. You do one treatment at a time. The pharmacist doesn't give you every single medicine in the pharmacy and then take it and then you're cured infinitely and forever for all your maladies. I said, okay, yeah, I got the point. So, so do not throw everything at yourself. Do the foot soaking, then do the ice pack separately. I know
So
in the interest of time, one wants to multitask.
yeah, and Mira, I can give you a spontaneous thing that Bhaiya and me were discussing today. So in yesterday's agenda, we had foot soak, we had candle treatment, and we were like, isn't it too much of treatments? Like, anything in excess is bad. And whatever we do, just surrender to Srimataji and do it with grace. I mean, just do it with deep, deep focus and deep belief. That's it. Yeah. So, Maya, we have some questions in chat also. Mira, anything else you wanted to ask, you wanted to
I
share?
think that's it. Thank you. It was
No
wonderful.
problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem. So, I'll just quickly go through the chats. I don't want to miss
Yeah.
anybody.
Can you read the questions out loud then for me?
Yeah, please, please. Many thanks for this meditation. I enjoyed the candle treatment because I'm very left-sided. What a blessing to have been introduced to Sahaj Yoga. Welcome and thank you so much. Then there is, I do my foot soak and meditation, listening to Srimataji's talk at night after work before going to bed. A good sound sleep is guaranteed. Yes,
Yeah.
Kima, me too. I live in the US. These are all feedbacks, but I'm just trying to see if there's some questions. I live
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
US in the East Coast, so I truly appreciate the meditation time, which is not so early in morning. Okay. But yeah, I guess we all have like late birds now. Nobody wants to get up at 4 a.m. and do the meditation. But that's uh okay. So is today's session recorded? Yeah, we have recorded the session and we'll surely share the link too. Okay, so Harita has a question. Harita, like if you want to add things further, let me know. She's like, I do foot soak with ice pack alternative nights. So do you mean we shouldn't do so?
So what I mean to say is that don't mix treatments. Foot soaking is good for cooling your right channel, and ice pack is also good for cooling your channel. But what you should do is maybe do foot soak, go away from the foot soak, and then when you're in bed or sitting somewhere else, then do the ice pack. Usually you don't tend to mix the treatments, but you should see, you are your own guru. You should try and see what works for you. If you have a very hectic lifestyle, and if it means you will not do your ice pack, then I rather you do it at the time that you're doing your foot soaking. But for me, do you know me, when I meditate and I'm foot soaking, suddenly my stomach becomes relaxed. I'm enjoying it. Put my hand here. If I had a foot soak on there, ice pack on there, I would feel just somewhat bit more restricted in the way I move my hands and things. So for me personally, I don't do ice pack at the same time. But what you could also do is, do you know the left channel is hot, the right channel is cold. You could have two foot soak bowls, put the warm one in the left foot, put the cold one in the right foot, and that way you're somewhat clearing the two channels. So this is something that I used to do, but now I just have a generic lukewarm temperature one that sort of helps with the left and helps with the right.
Okay, so Bhaiya, another question that we have. Okay, Harita, anything else you want to add before I speak the next? Okay, you're clear. So got it, Bhaiya. Thank you. That's what Harita says. So Bhaiya, another question that we have is it necessary to keep eyes open for foot soak?
No, it's not necessary. Sometimes I go into a really deep meditation and all I want to do is close my eyes. So why should I force keeping my eyes open? And there's no hard and fast. Sometimes when I can't stop my thoughts, then I'm really looking at the photograph thinking, oh, mother, help me. I'm really struggling here today. And then I look at the photograph and then I look at the eyes of Shumadaji. And there are many other techniques as well. You've got the red oxide, you've got the kumkum. I put that on here. You've also got sandalwood paste, which a little bit of it, essential oil, can be placed here. That also cools down the Agya chakra. And the other thing that really helps me is having a candle and looking through the candle into the photograph of Shimadaji. These are the techniques to cool you down, to stop your thoughts. But no, it is definitely not necessary to have your eyes open during meditation. It's okay.
Yeah, and in fact, in one of the speeches, Srimataji beautifully said, like sometimes even if you have thoughts, you can just say no thoughts, forgive thoughts, and that really helps. So that's the beauty of Sahaj. You don't have any protocols or any defined methods. It's spontaneous, and you just go with the flow,
Yeah.
whatever suits the best. And another thing is, Cameron is like, I noticed that most movements are done with the right hand. That is because right hand indicates actions. That's the reason, Cameron, we have most actions from the right hand. But yeah, but sometimes I've seen the left hand on a particular chakra. What determines which hand to use?
Very good question and very perceptive of you, actually. So
Yeah.
when we're doing the right side clearing, say, for example, next week, I do the right side, then I will not be using my right hand on my right heart. I'll be doing my left hand all along my left side. So that's how I do it. And if it's the central channel, it's always the right hand. And if it's the left side, it's always the right hand. It's only when I'm working on the right channel that I use my left hand.
Great observation. Good question.
Yeah, very good question.
Yeah. Thank you, Carmen, to everyone. Okay. So anything else? Any other questions? Kindly chat, unmute. Or you want to be in meditation, you don't want to talk.
Yeah. No, I've really enjoyed the session today. I've really enjoyed hosting it today. Thank you so much. I hope all of you keep on coming regularly.
Yeah, so we have someone from Mumbai, India, and he's like, Suresh, he's like, thank you doing regular guided medication online and enjoying it. Well, thank you for this great collectivity. We have people from California, we have people from UK. So that's great. That's great. Thank you. Please keep on joining. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so there is one more question from Harita. Can you please share for someone who suffers from anxiety, panic attacks?
Yeah. So for anxiety and panic attacks, it's a combination of your center heart and your left channel. And from my experience, it comes from the left nabi and the center heart and some sort of blockage along the left channel. For this, you need to do matka treatment. Matka treatment is lemon and chilies. And I don't know if you all know about it, but it's really good. It lightens your subconscious. It really cleanses your left channel. And you must constantly do 3 candle treatment, like twice or thrice a week for panic attacks, and also work on your center heart. In fact, everything that I've said today is really good for panic attack and center heart and left-sided people. That's what you must carry on doing. For the lemon and chilies, I don't know if anyone has told you anything about it.
Not sure, Bhaiya, if you can share that.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, lemon and chilies. I know in India, everyone has lemons and chilies on the threshold of the door, and they have here, there, and everywhere. But I'm going to tell you exactly how to use it. I'm I'm making a few assumptions. I'm assuming that you all have a photograph of Shrimadaji in your house. What I want you to do is get 7 lemons to represent the 7 chakras and 7 chilies to represent another at the right side of your body. The lemons represent the left, the chilies represent the right. And you put that in a plate in the altar of Shrimadaji for 24 hours. Then you put it all in a paper bag and you close it. And then when you go to sleep, you open that paper bag with the lemons and chilies and you keep it next to your head. But you don't look into it and you go to sleep. Then when you wake up as the sun rises, you close it without looking into it and then you start your day. And you do that for 7 nights. And if you're having something that is a bada or something that's really stuck in your chakras, within 2 to 3 days, you get a very bad smelling smell from the lemon and chilies. Then you just chuck that away, don't keep it in your house, and start the cycle again. You know, when I first came to Sahaj, I did 3 lots of matka, 3 lots of matka. They went bad, they went bad, they went, and on the 4th one, nothing happened. It was smelling just as fresh as it did on the first day. Then I knew, oh, I've achieved something now. It's good. Something has left me. I'm good. I'm lighter.
So, Bhaiya, the follow-up question is, should it be in a cloth or a bag?
It should not be in a cloth because it should be in a bag that you can throw away.
Okay. But yeah, one question that I had is like, when we do this ice pack, right? You can't reuse that ice pack, right? You need to dispose it off, or we can reuse the ice pack. Like,
So in the early noughties, when I was there, when mother was there, she
mm,
always used to say, get a sandwich bag, you know, those clear polythene bags, put
mm,
butter in it, 4 or 5 butter, close
mm,
it, zip it, then put it here, and then wrap a towel around you and just keep
mm,
it there, and then throw away the ice. But
mhm.
I'm being very honest at the moment. Recently, I've been using those blue ice cooler bag things.
Same here, Bhaiya.
And I've just been using it because I thought, you know what? Yeah, it's just making my life a lot easier at the moment. And I still feel the benefit of it. But if you
Mhm,
really want to be puritanical about it, then yes, cut all the ice pieces, put them in a bag, make sure it's waterproof, tie it on, and do
mm.
those things. You can see whichever way you want to do it.
Okay, so it would be a plastic bag or a polythene bag, Bhaiya, like when you put that ice.
Yeah, any plastic bag or any bag that you have that you put the ice in that's not going to leak. And then you just
Okay.
towel around you and fit it there nicely for about 20 minutes. But you know, for me, I always have a gunji inside, a vest, a
Mm,
banyan,
mm,
because if I
mm.
put the ice directly on my skin, it burns my skin.
Yeah, and it's colder too, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some more questions, Bhaiya. What about people suffer from cancer on medication? So, That's a question from Sheila. Sheila,
What's her surname? Sheila who last or
Sheila, what about people suffer from cancer?
yeah,
That's what is her question. Sheila, do
yeah.
you want to add something to it? I mean, I guess in
So
yeah, I guess that's what they're asking. But what about people suffer from cancer on medication,
also if you can
suffering from cancer?
yeah, Sharda, also if you can just write a quick note as to what the lemon and chilies is, because Rohini didn't get what we were saying. So if you can just write it out while I tell Sheila about the cancer. Yeah. Okay, so for cancer, Sheila Nanda, yeah. So for cancer, thankfully, there's lots more treatments out there, immunotherapy, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, all sorts of good things out there. Now, when I used to listen to Shimaraji talking to people about cancer, or even when when I saw her talking to someone who had cancer, it was really dependent on what the person's vibrations were like. So you can't just blast everyone with the same thing. But it is true to say that if you want to prevent cancer, and if you want to manage your cancer, and if you want to keep it at bay, the biggest and the most beneficial thing you can do is camphor. Camphor. You have a big ladle, stick, chamchi ladle, and in there you put camphor and ajwain, and it becomes a big flame. And you do as much as you can up and down your left side, as much as you can up and down your left side, twice or thrice a day. The ajwan and the camphor or kapoor, as they call it, you must burn that 3 times a day along your left side, because cancer comes from a protein that has been triggered in your body, which has allowed the cells to become malignant. So it is very much a left-sided thing. So 3 candle treatment and camphor, very, very, very important. In fact, in cancer cases, sometimes you're forgiven if you don't do foot soaking, but just really, really work on your left side with the fire. That's what mother said to one person. I was once in Vashi, Navi Mumbai, and I was sitting next to a lady. She had a tumor in the brain, just here next to the thing. And Shimadaji said to her, I want you to, now this is only in her case. I'm not telling you all to do this. I was there. And Shimadaji said, don't you go to the hospital. If they do something there, it will make a disaster and it will not be a good thing. In your case, I want you to do 1, 2, and 3. And mother told her constantly, constantly, do the 108 names of Vishnu Maya, say I'm not guilty, and constantly do candling here and your left side treatment, and do the lemon and chilies. And she was there for 3 months. And then I went off to England. And only 2 months ago did her name pop up in my Facebook feed. And I was so, so happy to see her. The first thing I said to her, after 20 years, I'm seeing you. Tell me what happened. It all ended well, obviously. And she goes, yes, everything mother told me worked out. And after 6 months, it shrunk. After 1 year, it wasn't there. And the doctor said I didn't need any treatment. And I was personally there when I heard this conversation. So it's not through hearsay.
Awesome. So Bhaiya, Sheila, do you have any further questions? You can unmute yourself. Okay, no worries. So Bhaiya, we have another feedback. Shalini to everyone. Jai Shri Mataji, I'm from Ahmedabad. I just started Sahaj Yoga. Very nice session. Thanks, Bhaiya, and all learned many things. Thank you,
Oh,
Shalini. We also thank you so much. We are blessed. We also learn a lot from you all. And Rohini, I have pinned you in chat. Okay. Any further question that you have with respect to lemon and chili?
but Sharda, can you not just write that message, not only to her, but on
Okay, okay.
everyone, so everyone can
Yes,
see?
yes, yes.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Okay.
Well, hopefully I get to see you again soon, sometime, all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been wonderful. Really enjoyed the session.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. You have a great day ahead. And it was wonderful interacting with you. Thank you, Bhaiya, for this blissful meditation. Thank you. Looking forward to see you all again. Lemon and chili in a bag, right? Bhaiya, again, the same
Yes,
thing. So
it's in a bag. It could be in a plastic bag that you want to throw away, or it could be in a
basically
paper
want to
bag.
dispose it of. Okay. So I'm
Anything that
just
you
putting,
think to
yeah,
dispose.
again in the chat, whatever I said. So, um,
In fact, everyone in the session today, before next week, or at least for 1 or 2 weeks time, make sure you try this lemon and chilies, because if I come back on this session, I'd like to know what your reactions were, what happened, how did it help you? I'd like to hear that. I'd like to see it.
I'm going to keep only for 12 hours. That's what Harita says. Okay, because, okay, fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's
12
fine.
hours.
Yeah. So, Bhaiya, I've posted. Okay, Harita, you have some question again? Okay. Let me just unmute you. If you're able to unmute yourself now. Harita, you there? I've asked you
Yes.
to yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
I
Thank
Yeah.
you
can.
so
Yep.
much.
She's muted herself again.
Okay, so you had some question, right, Harita?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can.
yeah, we are able to hear you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry I had to come up with another one. But my husband has been suffering from panic attacks, and he's scheduled to travel tomorrow to Dubai all by himself, and he's already quite anxious about it. So since his flight is he leave house around 6:30 a.m., is it okay if I just keep it right now and all in good faith, all in good intentions, and I'm sure Mataji will take care of it and send it away with him. Will that be all right? Because he's going to be off for 6 nights.
Yeah, so if you just vibrate it overnight, give it to him,
Mhm.
and then also give him a photograph of Shimadaji, that would be great. Yeah, then he can open it up at his hotel residence, wherever he is, every night, and
Yeah.
that should help. Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea. It's a good start. And also, just some herbal things. There's rescue remedy. You can spray it on your tongue. And
Okay.
the other thing I want to let you know, Harita, it's a really, really important point, and you must tell this to your husband. You must tell this to him. When someone is
Yes.
suffering from anxiety, when someone is suffering from panic attacks, people say, oh, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. They constantly tell you to concentrate on your breathing. That's the wrong thing to do, because you tire your lungs out to such a point that it suddenly becomes shallow. The breath becomes shallow, and that makes you even more panic. The most
Oh,
important thing you can do, and this is a patient has told me this, she has got panic attacks 24/7, and this has revolutionized her. Do you know a nightgown? You've got a belt on the nightgown. You know, we have a nightgown and we have a belt. Those are
yes,
ropes.
yes.
Yeah, you must tie that just at the diaphragm, just where the stripe is. You must tie it there, because when you're having a panic attack, you're breathing through your top like this. But if you breathe
Mm.
from the pressure feeling of your belt in and out from the diaphragm there, suddenly it will stop your panic around here, and you'll feel that you've got the right chemistry of carbon dioxide. Panic attack happens when the mixture of blood concentration between oxygen and carbon dioxide is out of balance, and then you panic even more. So please make sure, more than the matka, you give him that belt to tie around him in the first 5 minutes of the plane, because that will calm him down. And the other second thing I want you to do is to stimulate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve can be done by this. You take 2 breaths through the nose and then breathe through your mouth. Take 2 inhalations through the nose, 1 long one through the mouth. You do that 5 times, and that resets your sympathetic nervous system and gets you into a really restful state. Do those 2 things, belt and breathing in the nose and out of the mouth. You must do those 2 things. Yes, breathe out through the mouth. Long one, long one. It will definitely work. And I'm really keen to find out whether it has worked. It will definitely work. I have a patient who's got panic attack 24/7. These are the two things she said that really, really helped. Belt, ear.
Definitely send that across with him tonight itself.
Yeah.
I think me being in the session, though it's a Sunday evening for us, we had to go to a party and I skipped because of this session. Both of them
Oh,
have already gone. So I'm like 100% sure that Mataji wanted me to hear this from you. You know, we all are instruments. So just that way. I'm just so blessed and so thankful.
oh
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Honestly, Harita, you will not believe how that belt on the diaphragm will take his attention away from his breathing up here to down there, and then he won't feel the panic, and the carbon dioxide will come in. And the third and final thing is to have a paper bag and blow into the paper bag like this, and then breathe in through that. That will dilate the vessels in him, and the carbon dioxide concentration will be better. Anyway, I've given you so many treatments there. Choose one that you think he'll do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so indebted. Thank you.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Thank you, Harita. Rohini, I'm just unmuting you if you have any further questions.
I'm good, Chira. I'm good. Thanks.
No problem. So, for the lemon and chilies, like we are clear, right? Basically, need to give it bandhan, keep it vibrated, and keep it with you in a bag, and then just dispose it off when you get a bad smell. Basically, it
Okay.
indicates eradicating bada.
Okay, so where do we keep it? Sorry, we can just.
So the lemon and chilies, once it's vibrated with an open bag in front of Shimadaji, or it's loose on a plate, you put it into a bag, then you close the bag during the daytime and only open the bag at nighttime when your head is next to it, next to the headboard, next to the desk, or next to the lampshade or something, next to your head.
Basically,
Okay.
near you, Rohini, so that you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
And
then
you know
just
what's even
dispose it
better?
when.
What's even better is if you've got a bed with a gap underneath.
Yeah.
We have a divan bed, so we don't have a gap underneath, so we have to put it next to our head. But in India,
Okay.
they have the ones where there's a gap underneath. You can open the
Yes.
matka underneath the bed, which matches directly under your pillow.
Okay. Yep.
Got it.
Can. Okay then.
But remember to
Thanks.
close it in the morning.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And obviously, Bhaiya has given a lot of wonderful techniques, and this was learning experience for me also. I'm sure everybody has that. But there's sometimes, like a very small thing. Like today we talked about fear. Today we talked about insecurities. I was listening to one of the speech of Shrimataji, wherein, very simple thing like putting your both hands on the center heart and just reciting Jagdamba 12 times. It just overcomes all your fear and insecurities. It gives you that, it pacifies you. I mean, just saying, reciting the mantra Jagdamba 12 times, it just gets rid of all the fear. And for example, like when I was in India, we are so used to being in a joint family and seeing people around. When I came to the States, there were no one on the street. It was all, and I was getting scared because I'm not used to this kind of setup. So I just saw Srimataji's photo, prayed her, recited 12 times Jagdamba mantra, and it really helped a lot. Now I feel like, we are not alone. She's there around. So yeah, I mean, this is a very small thing, but yeah, and each treatment personifies, has some scientific reasons to it. But sometimes just surrendering to Shri Mataji and being spontaneous and not being, too much mechanical about the treatments also helps.
Yeah, I was very mechanical about the treatments when I first started. And then as I started to realize, Mitesh, you're becoming fanatical. And I didn't want to be fanatical, because if you become fanatical, people look at you and think, I don't want to be like him, because he's scared to go left, he's scared to go right, he's superstitious, and he will only do the treatment that way, and he will only eat things that way. That made me more fearful and made me much more rigid. And I didn't feel I was losing all my spontaneity and my spirit. And I have now, after so many years, learned to have my own freedom. And then I enjoy my spirit much more. I'm much more casual, much more relaxed.
Yeah. Kima, it's just like we just say Jagdamba just 12 times. Bhaiya, is there any other mantra for it? It's just a simple thing. I just recite 12 times. Just say Jagdamba, 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 looking into Sri Mataji's eyes. That's it. Just
Yeah.
Jagdamba. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So
who's asked this question?
Hima, I guess. She was like, what is the mantra? The,
For what, center heart or?
I think for the center heart, right? Yeah, for the fear and the center heart.
Yeah. So in the beginning, once your Kundalini is awakened, just to put your hand here, like Sharda says, it pacifies you. Too many mantras is not a good thing. You can say
Mhm.
Jagadamba, 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 but then you'll be fearful. Did I say the right amount? Did it have any meaning? Did it penetrate? Did it work out? So just say a few times Jagadamba, Jagadamba, or you might want to say something like, Mother, I will be victorious. I will overcome. Say some powerful positive mantras, and your sternum bone, which releases the antibodies, will start producing very good, high quality strength antibodies from you. It won't be weak, it will be strong. So keep to being strong and keep to saying it. Like the saying in English, let's fake it until we make it. Yes, fake it. Your brain doesn't know any better. You just keep on faking it. Yes, I am strong. And then your brain, your body, your hormones, your hypothalamus, all of that will start secreting the right amount of energy for you.
Wow. Thank you, everyone. Great questions. It was really, really very insightful. Thank you, Bhaiya, for all the tricks and tips. Any other questions? Anyone? Any feedback? We have another 5 minutes now, so please, please feel free.
I think, today has been really good because, putting my attention on today's class, I do feel that the candling was the most relevant thing to do, as if Shimadaji had brought only the right people to the session that needed the candling treatment. And I can also feel my center heart and left side. And this has been the majority of the questions today. So,
Absolutely, Bhaiya, seriously.
yeah,
And that's what it is, like spontaneous. I feel the same thing, Bhaiya. I remember like everyone is asking the same question. You started with fear, you started with cancer. You said like, how you can overcome fears. And now we have everyone asking the same questions. We
same
have
questions.
Harita's
Yeah,
husband going tomorrow and wish him a safe and nice flight, Harita. I'm sure he'll have a very fun time this time because you have the entire collective blessings with you now.
yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Um,
yeah. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead and a blissful day today. Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for all the insights. It's like, Sri Mataji's instrument is right away and guiding us so nicely. It was so it was so good to have you, Bhaiya. Thank you so
Yeah, no,
much.
it's good. I think I will join for another session next week if I can. That would be
Sure
great.
yeah.
thing. Bhaiya, now you have to be every time.
Oh my God.
It's afternoon
only
in the
only if
UK, so
you
it's not a
promise.
problem.
Thank you, Meera. No, but Sharda,
Thanks,
only if
Meera.
you promise that you will also be there.
But yeah, I will be there. Don't worry. Even if I'm not there, I'll ensure I'll ping you. But yeah, I'll be there for almost every alternate weekend, that's for sure. And we all will be there. I want now, it should not be 33 participants. Next time it should be like 50, 100. So I
It will
heard
be.
people
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
from Kolkata.
Honestly, I feel that if I prepare for the meditation with really good, pure desire, so many people will turn up to the session. Somehow through the
Absolutely.
ether, everyone will be there.
Yeah.
And it
And
really
I
hurt me because,
certainly,
when we were
yeah,
having mother's lecture, there was
yeah,
35 people and then it went down to 30. And my heart was like, no, don't leave, don't go. Where are you all going?
yeah.
Anyway, it's good.
It
It's all
was
good.
amazing. Thank you all. I heard Bhaiya in the chat, people are from California, from Kolkata, from Mumbai, from India, from UK, from US. Oh my God. So Mother
So
is just
from
increasing
America
the
and India, they
connectivity.
are. Is there anyone else from anywhere else?
Yeah, please, please feel free. I guess people have
It was
already
mainly
left
India
here.
and America, wasn't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's Virginia,
Oh,
Virginia.
Virginia. Beautiful.
Mm, very nice. Okay, well, all have a wonderful evening, day. I shall get to my family now, but it's been a blissful session, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to present today. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Have a minimal day ahead.
All right.